y'all, it's Nikki, busting in on your feed with another hopefully fun project. And again, I don't have a prototype for this one because we're going to make this together. Last year, I took a cover art from a Mary Poppins VHS tape. Y'all almost said DVD. Oh my goodness. VHS tape. Took the cover art out, and I cut this apart, and we're going to make a journal out of it. It's going to be a hardback glue-bound journal. And I have done these before. I did a Babe one. Do y'all remember the movie Babe with the talking pig? That was my daughter's favorite when she was little. And I did a wire-bound notebook out of it. But this one, we're going to make this one hardbound. And unfortunately, as of right now, I don't have a prototype. But we're going to work on this together. And also, this may be more than a one shot and done video. I may have to break this one up. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how far we get in this video. So again, this is the cover art out of a VHS tape. I just took the art out, and it's going to break my heart a little bit, but we are going to have to cut this baby apart a little bit. We're going to use this. We're also going to need some chipboard. However, I got this board. Sorry, didn't realize it was going to glare. This is photo mat board. I got it at an estate sale. Got a humongous box of it at a really good deal, but it's pretty sturdy, so it's going to make a good cover, and I don't worry too much about the gold shimmer because we're going to cover it anyway. Oh, look, this is a good piece. Anyway, I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. Just my sick sense of humor. And we're also going to use this paper collection. I know it doesn't specifically say Mary Poppins, but it's kind of like the Disney paper. You can only tell that it's Mary Poppins. And this collection is what I made. Let's flip through this real quick. This one is what I made the first one out of. And I fell in love with this paper. I thought it was so cute. That's the sticker sheet. Oh, these are my... See, this is what my scraps from the first one I made. But again, this is Cartabella. It's very thick paper. I just thought this was so pretty. And it actually turns out to be a really cute journal. So, there's some more. I love the kites. Oh my goodness, I can't pick paper up. That's really cute too. And like I said, these are scraps. I'm sorry that I don't have the full set to show you, but there's a little map in there. There's some. See, look, you can only tell that it's Mary Poppins, y'all. Some cut aparts. Anyway, you know, I think I may have another pack of this, so we'll do a full run through on the pack of paper before we finish up the videos. Alright, let's lay this off to the side because we don't need this just yet, now that I've opened it up and made a mess. Alright, we'll get the paper cutter. Alright, so, like I said, it's going to break my heart, but we are going to have to cut this up. Back off. Hopefully I can cut straight because I'm trying to cut it right there on that line. We're going to save that. And we're also, here we go. These are a little uneven, so we need to, the front, see how I can show you this so you can see what I'm talking about. The front and the back are a little off, so we're going to shave just a hair off of that. Even them up a little bit. There we go. Alright. So now we have our cover art in 3 pieces. Let's move this this for just a second. We'll need it back in a minute. Get my mess out of the way. A little trash can I got over here. Alright, so now let's measure this because we're going to have to back this onto that board because we want it a little bit stiffer. So it's about 5 3/8 by 8 1 2 3 4 5/8. Alright, did we see if we measured both of them correctly? Yes. So, we want this, or we could have just done it like this. Well, that's not going to be long enough. So let's go this way. I'll turn the white side around so I don't blind y'all. So I want about 1/8 of an inch border around. So this is how I should have measured it in the first place. So there's our front. I know this is very scientific measuring, right? Front. And then for our back, now I am not going to cut it with that curve on it. We're going to leave it, you know, with the square corners. And hopefully we're getting these about the same. If we have to trim them up, we can. I guess we need to measure the spine too. So the spine is going to be the same height. It's just the width that we need to worry about. And again, I know, this is a very scientific form of measuring here. Alright, so now let's cut this up. So how y'all been? It got cold again. You know, we had fake spring. Now we're back into, I think, second or third winter. I'm not sure. I've kind of lost count at this point. Cut that off just a little bit. There we go. Should have put this in the big heavy duty trimmer, but not everybody has a big cinch stack cutter like I do. So I just kind of wanted to show that it can be done without it. Alright. So I cut this a little big. I know this is a little big. Sorry if the table is shaking while I cut. I apologize. Alright, let's see where we're at. Because we do want a little bit of a border. That looks pretty good for just guessing, y'all. Alright, so now we want our front to match. So we're just a hair over 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. Alrighty, so let's see how far off we were. Hair over 5 1/4. By 8 1/2. Oh, but like I was saying, we are in fake spring. Oh, look at that, y'all. We did pretty well. Alright, let's get our spine. I lost my spine piece here. This one. Hair over, did I say 8 1/2? Yes, I did. Because again, we want them all the same height so that our book matches up. Not too bad, y'all, not too bad. Almost looks like we knew what we were doing, right? Alright, let's set this to the side again, because we'll need it to cut our paper. You can keep these scraps if you want. I may keep the bigger ones. I know y'all have seen me, you know, make covers, cover it with paper. But because when we lay this out, it's going to be longer than the 12 inches that we need. It hits right over 12. I can't use a normal size piece of cardstock. So what I have is I've got a piece that is 12 by 24. Thought I had two there. Sorry. get this at Michael's in the paper section. Excuse me. And I'm just going to kind of move this over a little bit, kind of get an idea of, put the spine down first, Nikki. Eyeball that at about 1/8 of an inch. Alright, and we need, it would have helped if I would have put it on the grid the right way. We need a piece that is roughly 13 and a half. So I can't measure 13 and a half on my trimmer. So we're just going to go like this. Get the good old handy dandy finger blade out. And we're going to cut it. Well, that didn't work worth a crap, did it? We're going to cut it. There we go. Hate it when things don't work right. But it'll be okay. Not going to stress about it. Alright. So, excuse me. We can cut the top off with some scissors. Alrighty, so there we go. So that should be good. And guess what time it is, y'all? Sticky tape time. And we will, let me cover this all with my tape. And we will, as usual, fast forward through this part because y'all have seen me do sticky tape before. Alright, so there we go. Got our sticky tape down. Push it down real good. Make sure everything gets nice and stuck. Y'all, is my camera angle off? I'm looking at the playback over here on my screen and something just doesn't look right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nervous after, whacking the camera the last time. Who knows what I've done to it now. Alright, get our paper back over here. We are going to peel off our backers. Maybe. Y'all know I don't have trouble with this till I get on camera, right? I can just peel these right off. Not really. I just wanted to make myself sound good. Hid my trash can from myself. Hang on. Alright, so y'all know the drill on this. We're going to attempt to use the grid lines on the mat. And we're going to try to get this as straight as possible. I don't have my little guide out today. I should have grabbed it. But I didn't. So we're just eyeballing today. We're going rogue, y'all. We're going rogue. Alright. This one's straight. And we want about 1/8 of an inch in between. That down there. Peel these off. Oh my goodness. Had a hitchhiker. Got that. Alright. There we go. That does not look straight. But as long as I got the back down, or the bottom good and straight, we should be okay. Flip it over. Make sure our tape is nice and stuck down. And we will trim this top just a little bit. And y'all know that I cannot cut a straight line with a ruler. let alone you give me a pair of scissors without a ruler. So I'm not 100% sure how straight that is. We'll keep that scrap because if nothing else, I can stamp on it. So they're good for that. Alright, and let's see. You know, a good crafter would have had all their tools out that they needed. Alright, so we're going to take this, and that's a little too fat. I don't like that one. And we're going to run this down the side of our board, our chipboard. And if you don't have chipboard, you know, you can use cereal boxes. Just, you know, glue a couple of them together. You can use that. Cardboard that, you know, shipping comes in. Those are good. My family and even the work family, they don't throw boxes away without checking with me first. Be surprised. They're out. They'll bring them. Words are hard. They will bring a box to me, and they'll ask me, "Is this a good box? Do you want this box?" They actually really don't throw anything away because I use a lot of weird things in my crafting sometimes. Because like I told you in the last video, I'm trying to craft from my stash. Trying real hard. Have I bought more paper this year? Of course I have, but, you know. Baby steps. Baby steps. Get in here in between. Work that out a little bit. Alright. This and work this. Fold these over. I really don't want that paper to crack. Sometimes you can't help it. But running your scoring tool, you know, scoring it like we did, can help alleviate some of that. And then, of course, you know, we're going to miter our corners. Don't forget to leave that little bitty teeny tiny space right there. You don't want to go all the way to the board. Problem with using whiteboard on white paper is y'all really can't see what the heck I'm doing, can you? I promise. It will work. Besides, it's just paper. If we don't like this one, we'll get another piece, right? Alright, let's use liquid glue this time, and we are going to glue this down. And did y'all notice I started on the wrong edge? Usually I like to do the sides first, but obviously I'm having trouble multitasking today. My glue's having trouble sticking. I may have to pull out the sticky tape, y'all. It's alright, we'll make it work. We'll get it down. There we go. Flip to this side. And rub it down. Over. Glue and smush, y'all. Glue and smush. I know, y'all are tired of hearing that. Alright, we'll get our sides over here. I should have trimmed this side down a little bit, but I did not. It'll be okay. It's going to get covered up with paper. I like this 24-inch cardstock for things like this. Comes in handy. Now, if it was just, you know, maybe a little bit higher than the 12 inches, but that's okay. we have other things that we can use if we need more than 12 inches, and I think we have done a couple of those projects, haven't we? Alright. A little bit of glue squirting out there. Alright. So then we're going to take this and we're going to just kind of scrape down the sides, and that just kind of crisps everything up, make it look a little more professional. It's hard to see on camera exactly what the difference, the before and after. Alright, so there's our cover. Now we have a book, sort of. Let's make it look pretty. Alright. You know what? Let's do the inside first. In case we mess up, I don't want to mess up my Mary Poppins pictures. I don't guess it really matters. I'll have to make sure it fits. So this is going to lay. This is going to, oh my goodness, Nikki. It's going to go right here. That's going to be our spine. This is going to go right here. That's our back, obviously. And then we have this one at the front. And that's what it's going to look like, y'all. We're recycling, reusing, and repurposing. Now if I could just find something to do with the VHS tape. Do people still have VCRs? I wonder. I don't know if my 17-year-old would even know how to operate a VCR. He probably would. I've tried to teach him well. He knows all the good 80s bands, I can tell you that. He does. I raised both of my children on the good 80s music. I'm a good mom. Alright. So let's see if we can get one piece of 12-inch paper to go all the way across. Bring our paper back over. And this is going to be our inside liner piece. See what we got over here that we can use out of scraps. It's going to be too short when I cut the branding strip off, so we can't use that one. That's too short. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to have to cut another piece of paper, y'all. That's okay. That was really cute, too. But it's just not going to work. Alright, so what do we want to line it? We're also going to put dividers and pockets in here, so I want to keep that in mind when I pick a piece of paper. How about this? That would be cute. We'll have to cut a little off the side. Alright. I can't pick anything up, y'all, since I trimmed my nails. Alright, so we are looking at, oh look, y'all, it's exactly 12 inches. So the liner needs to be 11 3/4 by, it's 8 1/2, we're going to go 8 1/4. 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. Do we want to do this side? I think we do. I like it. I think it's really cute. We're going to cut our branding strip off. I know I don't have to cut that off just right now, but we're going to make it work. Alright. What did I say? 8 3. Y'all, I already forgot what I needed. What my height was. It is 8 1/2-ish, so we're going to do 8 1/4. 1.25. And of course, we're going to save that for something, become a tag or something. And 11 3/4. So I'm going to do 11 7/8. And I will tell you why. I want to keep these borders that are around the little newspaper as even as possible. So now we'll take 1/8 of an inch off each side, and hopefully it helps keep them a little bit straighter. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Alright, so let's see what it looks like here. Not too bad, not too bad. Try and decide, glue or sticky tape? Let's go with tape, because I want this to stay down very well. Don't want it, you know, up and flying around everywhere. The heck is that caught in my tape? Well, it's on the back, so we won't see it. I don't know what got caught up in that roll, or that piece of tape right there. Alright. So, bring our cover back in. Make sure that we're nice and straight and even all the way around. Well, a little high at the top, a little off, but that's okay. It will be alright. Rub everything down. Alright, now find our spine. We're going to work our spine because we don't, one, we don't want the paper to rip, and two, we don't want it to pucker up. We want to make sure everything lays nice and flat. That's another reason for the sticky tape versus the glue. Alright, so here we go. This end, make sure it folds up. Y'all hear the tape crack a little bit? Alright. So when you look at it like this, it's a little stiff still, but it'll be okay. There's no, you know, our paper's not bubbling up. So, get in there, work it out, move it. There we go. Now we have our book. Let's go ahead and decorate our front. It is a little, like I said, it's still a little stiff. There we go. But we'll get it all worked out. Alright. So there's that. It wants to pop up on me, but that's okay. Y'all, I move my stuff and I hide it from myself. Isn't that crazy? Now, I know a lot of this I couldn't prep ahead of time because I wanted to show it to you, you know, like cutting the art apart and things like that. So, I apologize for not being as prepared. Alright. See, I told you, I put my stuff away. Hide it from myself. you'll notice right here I left this little, well, you can't really see it. There's a little strip right here where this curves. I didn't take that tape all the way up to the top, so we'll have to add some glue right there. Smush this down. Don't want everything, because see, now hopefully you can see it, because around the corner the tape sticks up right there. It's not a big deal, but I just kind of didn't want to have to mess with trying to fold everything under and, all of that. Big old mess. So, alright, let's get this undone. Alright. And we want to go right there. So we're going to push this down on our spine. And I'm working slowly because I don't want this to end up crooked. And because if you notice when we cut this, because the way the VHS tape curved around, this has a slight curve to it. So I'm trying to make sure that this gets good and stuck, stays flat, is nice and straight. And I think I'm off just a little bit, but it'll be okay. We'll see how bad it is. Not too bad. Not too horrible. Alright. So now, that's our back. Not that it really matters if I do the back or the front first, but I think my craft room's haunted. I keep hearing things and I'm the only one in here. Could be, you never know down here. Alright, so because again, like I said, that little spot right there doesn't have any tape, we're going to add a little bit of glue right there. Okay. And again, same thing. Throwing crap around everywhere. Can y'all see what I'm doing? It feels like I'm too far away when I look at the camera. Anyway, we're going to put this down here. Oh, there's that piece that I didn't see. This is why I try not to do that, because I forget to tuck it back under. Alright. This even with the spine as straight as possible. I'm going to put that down. Rub, rub, rub. Alright, now let's get the back on. And again, there's another little spot right up there at the top that we'll have to put some glue down. Alright. And again, we're going to try to line everything up. Get it on as straight as we can. Hold my top up here. And squeegee it down. This is the one that I really wanted to get on as straight as possible because it's darker. You know, this still has the white border and you can really tell that this one, if it was crooked against the white background. Alright, y'all, there's our cover. How stinking cute! Out of some VHS cover art. How stinking cute is that? So the plan now is, I'm going to get some paper and I'm going to, cut the paper to size, of course, and we're going to work on that because it will actually get glued down, here. I don't know that I've done a glue bound book with y'all. I know we've done a bunch of wire projects. Have I done a glue bound book? I don't think I have. So there's our cover to our Mary Poppins journal that we are working on. Alright guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this for now, and then we'll do a part 2. I've never done 2-part video, so we're going to see how this goes. Keep you on the edge of your seat because we got to get this finished. But yeah, it's looking adorable right now. This is a little off, but that's okay. I don't think anybody but me would notice that. So, but I think it's going to be cute when we get done. So when we get done, we're going to add pockets on the, on the front and the back. We'll put some dividers in there, maybe add some fun tags, something like that. What do y'all think? Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up on this, come back for part 2, and we'll see you next time. If you have not hit that button, like I said, what are you waiting for? Sharing all the craziness with me. And again, hit the button, like, share, subscribe. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.